Hi, Super Second Graders. Today we are going to start working on some more math, and I hope you are excited. So let's get started. Today we are going to determine the value of a collection of coins up to $1. So we get to talk about money. Yay! How are we going to do that? We're going to review important vocabulary. We are going to determine values of different coins. We are going to determine values of a collection of coins. And then you are going to actually practice finding the value of a collection of coins. Why are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do it because it's important to know how much money is in a collection. So let's get started. Here is the important vocabulary that we are going to talk about today. The first one is penny. A penny is a copper color, and it is worth 1 cent. The next one is a nickel. It is a silver color, and it is worth 5 cents. The next one is a dime. It is a silver color, and it is worth 10 cents. The next one is a quarter. It is also a silver color, and it is worth 25 cents. Then there's two very important symbols. The first one is the cent symbol. And this is what you would use if you were writing how many cents something is. And it always goes after you write the value. The other one we could use is the dollar sign. The dollar sign is a way to show that you have an amount of money, and it goes before you write the value. And we're going to practice using both of these today. So let's get started. Here is the first thing we are going to do. Again, we're going to review how much each one is worth, and we're going to look at how they're written. So the first one we have is a penny. Again, it is a copper color, and it is worth 1 cent. It can be written two different ways. You could write 1 cent like this, so you write the number 1, and then you write the cent symbol. You also can write it with the dollar sign, so you write the dollar sign, and then you put 0 decimal point, which is a little period, 0, 1. And this represents 1 cent. The next one is a nickel. A nickel, remember, is a silver color. It is worth 5 cents. And it can be written two different ways as well. The first way you could write it is the number 5 with the cent symbol. And you can also write it with the dollar sign, 0, decimal point, 0, 5. The next one is the dime. Remember, it is a silver color. It is worth 10 cents. And it can be written two different ways. The first way is with the cent symbol. So you write the 10 and then you write the cent symbol afterwards. And then you can do it with the dollar sign, 0.10. And you'll notice that it changed from the last one because now we have 2 digits. The other one is the quarter. Remember, the quarter is also a silver color. It is worth 25 cents. And it can be written as 25 with the cent symbol, or it can have the dollar sign with the 0 point or decimal point, 25. The last one is a dollar. When you have a dollar, you actually have the paper money instead of the coins. It is worth 100 cents. It can be written as 100 with the cent symbol, or it also can be written with the dollar sign. And you'll notice now the 1 is on the other side of the decimal point. And that's because the decimal point's job is to separate wholes from a part of a whole. So the next thing I want to do is practice skip counting by 5s. The reason I want to do that is because when we use money, we skip count by 5s a lot. So let's just do it together very quickly. I have them highlighted in yellow so that they can help us. So if we start, we're going to start at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Nice job. Now we're actually going to work on finding the value of different sets of coins. So on each one of these, I'm going to show you a couple of different things. Let me move this out of the way. So the first thing that I've done is at the top, you will always see the name of the coins and how much they are worth. So a quarter is 25 cents, a dime is 10 cents, a nickel is 5 cents, and a penny is 1 cent. We are going to look at a collection of coins. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to decide which coin it is and how much it is worth. And we're going to write it both ways with the cent symbol and the dollar sign. So let's look at these together. So the first thing we have right here is a nickel. That's right. And a nickel is worth 5 cents. So I can write it with the 5 and the cent sign. And then I can also use the dollar sign with the 0.05. What is this coin called? That's right. It is also a nickel. So I'm going to write nickel, 5 cents, dollar sign, 0.05. This one is a nickel. So I'm still writing the name, nickel, 5 cents, dollar sign, 0.05. Okay, what about these two? What are these called? They're copper. What's the copper colored one called? That's right, they are a penny. So I'm going to write penny, I'm going to write 1 cent, and I'm going to say dollar sign 0.01. And I did that for both of them because they are both pennies. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our hairy money and we're going to skip count. So we talked about hairy money with your teacher. So each line is going to represent 5. So let's look at the first one. So I know that a nickel is worth 5, so I drew my hairy money and wrote 5. I'm going to keep going, hairy money, and then I have to add another 5, so that's why it was important that we skip counted by 5. So now there's my 10. 15. Now remember, pennies are only worth 1 cent, so I'm not going to draw hairy money for it, but I'm going to draw a little dot just to help me remember I need to count it. So then that's worth 16, and finally worth 17. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to say how much the collection was actually worth. So this collection of coins is worth 17 cents, and I can write it 2 ways. The first way is 17 with my cent sign, and the second way is my dollar sign, 0.17. Let's try another one. Here is the next one we have. Remember, again, I'm going to have my coins, what their name is, and how much they're worth at the corner so that can help us. So this first one is a dime. It is worth 10 cents. So I can write 10 with my cent symbol, and I can write the dollar sign 0.10. What is this coin called? That's right, it is 10 cents. It is worth it is a dime worth 10 cents. So again, 10 with the cent symbol or the dollar sign 0.10. These are both still the same coin. They are both dimes, so I'm going to fill that in. So dimes, 10 cents, dollar sign 0.10. What is this coin called? That's right, it is a nickel. So a nickel, remember, is worth 5 cents. So I wrote the 5 in the cent sign, and then I have my dollar sign 0.05. Now the next thing I'm going to do is draw my hairy money so that I'm able to count to decide how much this is actually worth. So this first one, how many hairs is it going to get? It's worth 10 cents, so it's going to have 2 hairs. And I'm going to skip count while I'm doing it. So 5, 10. That means that this one's going to have another 2, but I'm going to keep skip counting. So 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Now remember, a nickel is only worth 5 cents, so it's only going to have 1 hair. And when I do that 1 hair, I'm only going to add 5 more to my total, which is going to give me 45. So at the bottom, I'm going to write that this collection is worth 45 cents with my cent symbol, and I'm going to use the dollar sign and say 0.45. Let's try one more. So for this one, I have a couple of different coins. So remember again, I have the different coins at the top, what they're called, and how much they're worth. So what is this coin? That's correct. It is a quarter. And a quarter is worth 25 cents. And I can write it with the 25 and the cent symbol, and then the dollar sign 0.25. My next coin is a nickel. It is worth 5 cents. And I'm going to say $0.05. And these last two coins are called what? That's right. These are both pennies. Oops, I clicked too many times. That's okay though. So I'm going to write my penny, 1 cent, and then dollar symbol sign 0.01. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my hairy money and I'm going to skip count. So a quarter has a lot of hair because it has 25 cents. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hairs and I'm going to skip count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. How many hairs is this nickel going to have? That's right, it has 1. And so I drew my 1 and then I had to skip count by 5 some more. So now I'm up to 30. Do pennies get hairy money? No, they don't get any hairs. But I like to put a little dot just to help me remember that I counted it. So I'm going to put my dot and say that this one was 31. And then my dot that says this one is 32. So finally at the bottom, I am going to say what this collection is worth. It is worth 32 cents with the cent symbol. It is going to also be written with the dollar sign 0.32. So let's recap what we did today. We determined the value of a collection of coins up to $1. We reviewed important vocabulary. We determined the values of different coins. We determined the values of a collection of coins. And now it's going to be your turn to practice finding the value of a collection of coins. And we did this because it's important to know how much money is in a collection. So you are going to actually work on this example. So let me get it to the right spot. Here's what you're going to do. You are going to label each coin with its name and value. You are going to draw the hairy money lines. You are going to skip count, and you are going to tell me how much is in each collection in 2 different ways. So let's look at one example. Again, at the top, I have the name with how much it's worth. So if this was our example, I have these 2 coins that look very similar, and I have this coin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what this coin is and how much it is worth. So I'm going to look at each one. These are both quarters, so I write quarter. I put 25 cents with the cents symbol, and I say dollar 0.25. Again, dollar sign 0.25. This last coin is a dime, so I'm going to write dime, 10 cents, dollar sign 0.10. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my hairy money, and I'm going to skip count. So here are all my hairs. Remember, a quarter has to go up to all the way to 25. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the quarters. And then I'm going to skip count. And when I skip count, I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Because I know 2 quarters is worth 50, so I'm on the right track. A dime has 2 hairs. So I'm going to keep skip counting. 55, 60. So that means that this collection is worth 60 cents, written this way with the cent symbol, or I can write dollar sign 0.60. So that is what you are going to do on your activity. So I included a couple of different things just to help you so you can remember what you have to do. So on the front, it's just telling you what you have to do, and there is an example of one that is done. Then you are going to look at yours. But if you look on the side, well, let's look at one thing first. You're going to first write your name, and then you're going to put your teacher. That's going to help me figure out whose paper it goes to. On the side, I still have the name of the coins with how much they are worth. And then I gave you a checkbox so you can remember to do everything. So the first thing is, did you? And it says label each coin. So I'm going to write the name of all of the coins. Then I'm going to say write the value of each coin in cents. So I'm going to write how much it's worth with the cent symbol. Then it says write the value of each coin in dollars. So then I'm going to put the dollar symbol. Then I'm going to draw my hairy money. I'm going to skip count. And then finally I'm going to write the total.